Hello, I'm Reeltheseal. That intro sucked. Usually on my channel I talk about movies, and I'm willing to bet that's what Happy the Knife anticipated my segment to be about. Well, sir,
You've got a big surprise coming to you.
I want to talk about something different. Painting. Usually when people think of painting, they think of the usual suspects like Van Gogh, Salvador Dali, Claude Monet, all that jazz. Don't get me wrong, those are talented artists, hell, they're some of my favorites of the medium. However, since it's October, I want to talk about horror in painting. When it comes to painting horror, I personally think there are 3 artists who consistently achieved it best. Also, I'm not counting Junji Ito. He's awesome, but drawing is not the same as painting. First, probably the most well-known example, Francisco de Goya. Although this Spanish painter has made a number of paintings over the years that aren't creepy, some of his most well-known works come from his black paintings. Each of these paintings were done on the walls of his own house, and each of them reflects such a gloomy and depressing outlook on humanity. Furthermore, these would be the last artworks made by Francisco de Goya before his death in 1828. I won't go over every painting, but I will talk about my favorites. 2 Old Ones Eating Soup doesn't depict a particularly dark subject, but the way it's painted is definitely unsettling. Witch's Sabbath is, well, that. Man Mocked by 2 Women is disturbing not only with the uncanny faces, but with the masturbatory subject matter. The dog is maybe not spooky, but it is definitely sad. There is such an aura of melancholy loneliness in this simple painting, it's oddly beautiful in a way. But of course, the most infamous of Goya's black paintings is Saturn devouring his child. This is based off a story in Roman mythology where the god of agriculture, Saturn, began to worry that his children may overthrow him. To prevent this, Saturn decided to devour each and every one of his children. And this painting depicts exactly that. Painter number 2, Theodore Géricault. Just like Goya, this French painter has also made a lot of not-so-creepy artwork over the years. Unlike Goya's black paintings, which were often abstract in their horror, Géricault's paintings were very blunt and disturbing. In fact, I don't even think I'm allowed to show these on YouTube. If you're curious, you can Google them pretty easily, but just to be safe, I'm just going to read the title of each painting and also blur it. Anatomical Pieces, The Severed Heads, Head of a Drowned Man, Head of a Guillotined Man. Oh, by the way, each of these paintings are of real dead bodies and body parts. Géricault was working on a painting called Raft of the Medusa, but apparently wanted to make the corpses in the painting to look as real as possible. So he borrowed some limbs and corpses from some morgues and hospitals, took them back to his studio, and painted them. For practice. The fuck is wrong with you, Theodore? And lastly, but certainly not least, Zdzisław Beksiński. You remember how I said that Goya's black paintings were creepy in a more abstract sense? Well, the same applies for the paintings of this Polish painter, but his have a more prominent lean on cosmic, dystopian, and Lovecraftian horror. And honestly, I'm just going to let the works speak for themselves. Well, that's about it from me. I had a lot of fun making this, I think. Back to you, Happy Knife Guy.
Thank you, Reeltheseal, for not just submitting a video, but for covering dark art and dark paintings. Like Reeltheseal says in his video, he usually covers topics related to movies. His channel has a lot of great videos on some of my favorite directors and filmmakers. So, if you'd like to show your support for Reeltheseal, please go over to his channel, watch his videos, like, subscribe, and comment, and say that you were sent by Happy Knife Guy. Today we'll move on to round 2 of the horror cosplay contest. We'll see some more segments from some more creators, Jen and I will do our best to amuse you, and we'll conclude the episode with part 3 of Thingamajig, short surreal horror film by Skeleton Crew Productions.
I'm excited to see the new videos from our cosplayers.
Let's go to round 2 of our horror cosplay contest. We have 4 contestants submitting a video every week for 3 weeks.
First up, Luxury Tears.
If God sends me to hell, I will simply not go. What will he do? Send me to hell? I'm already not going.
Cosplay Horror Fly Tie. Jackson.
He's loving my look and I'm loving all the strategic ways. I said, do you think you kill for me one day? Yes, of course I will. And I want it.
And Shido.
Doctor, I can't tell if I'm not me.
Cast your vote in the comments for the ones that you like the most. The cosplayer with the most votes wins. So what's new with you, Jen?
Nothing.
Any ghosts or spirits haunting you?
Not that I know of.
Must be nice.
What about you?
You wouldn't fucking believe the bullshit.
Tell me.
You know I needed sleep. Not Margaret pounding on the walls wanting a treat, sleep. Not the Charlie Cedarwood show, nightmares happening, sleep. I needed real, restful, deep sleep. So I took some pills. Sleeping pills.
Did they work?
Yes and no. Yes, I managed to get 4 solid hours of sleep, but it was a 4-hour Charlie Cedarwood show marathon, and Margaret was pissed. What are you, mad? You do know that anything that gets in here, even like a squirrel, it just makes everything harder for me.
Did anything else get in?
Yeah, something weird got in. And I can't go in the other half of my basement now. But I'll tell you more about that later. Because I have some good news.
What is it?
Remember Jackknife's reviews 6 worst VHS segments from last week? His new video, the 6 best VHS segments, comes out this week. And we got a preview.
Let's check it out.
Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jack Knives. This is part 2 of the best segments of the VHS franchise. If you missed part 1 where I talked about the worst, there's a link in the description. But for now, let's get on with the list. These are the best 6 segments of the VHS franchise.
Dante the Great from VHS Viral.
As I stated before in my last list, VHS Viral is considered the worst of the franchise. But this is the best of the worst. This segment was directed by Greg Bishop, who would later go on to do the film adaptation of Siren, which is also based off of a VHS segment. There are a lot of good filming techniques in this segment. The only problem I have with it is I'm 99% sure this is straight out of a Goosebumps book, if I'm not mistaken. And not only that, it just focused too much on the comedy and not enough on the actual horror for me. And when I put on a horror movie that is an amalgamation of different things, I would prefer to stay within the realm of horror, which I don't mind a little sprinkling of comedy, but not when it's that full forced. But for what it is, it actually does have some good visuals, some good aspects, some good concepts, and overall it's not badly acted either. Is it great? No. But that's why it's on this list at number 6.
Ozzy's Dungeon from VHS 99.
This one is directed by not a filmmaker, but a musician known as Flying Lotus. He did have something to do with another movie called Kuso, which is a weird, trippy, creepy comedy. But this actually had a great, and I mean great, amount of potential. Like, I could honestly see this being a full-length movie. That's one of the things I do love about the VHS franchise. It's almost like it allows you to look at segments and go, wow, there is enough here to be like a segment that could be potentially made into a full-length movie. Whether or not it's going to be good or bad, that's kind of irrelevant. But what I do think this one specifically had such great acting and disturbing visuals and the build-up to it. Like, what exactly is Ozzy's Dungeon? Like, what is at the end of that rainbow, so to speak? And what I also loved is it's a dark, horror twisted version of Double Dare. I want to see them turn horror style game shows. Like, that's a thing I've wanted to see since I was a kid, and to see it sort of realized, kind of, but also give you the real creeps. And the mom especially, whoo, like, she is like, whew, creepy, but in a good way. And in a practical sense, especially after everything, and to find out the different things at the end was just like, whoa, 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 in a good way. And I loved it for that.
Dreamkill from VHS 85.
This segment was directed by Scott Derrickson, who has his own long resume of great films, including Doctor Strange, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and even the Sinister franchise. But I really, really loved this segment. This is 100% capable of being a full-length movie. I fully believe this could definitely be a film. This should be a film. I would pay to see this kind of a movie. If done in the way that this movie is done, I would love to see a full-length movie like this. And I would pay good money to see it. That's what I liked about it. It felt just so grimy, but so good at the same time. And that's one of the things that I love about found footage, is it doesn't feel, or meant to feel, like it's fake or made up. It's supposed to feel like, oh, you found and stumbled across this, and so it adds more elements to it. This is a condensed version of my top 6 list, done in collaboration with Happy the Knife, no relation. Over at his channel, you can check out more horror segments, and have a happy Helldünkel.
Thank you, Jack Knives Reviews, for including us in 2 of your videos. I'll include the links to the full videos in the description below.
I can't wait to rewatch the VHS series now. I love seeing my favorite shows and movies with a new perspective.
Me too. I think that's what got me into movie review channels.
Speaking of new perspectives, it's the 3rd episode of How Horrific, and I thought we should mix things up.
Sure. What are you thinking?
I know how much you like to make fun of The Conjuring and Paranormal Activity, so I thought I'd compare them to see which is worse.
Jen, did you make a segment?
Here is 7 rounds of The Conjuring versus Paranormal Activity. Round 1, Setting. The Conjuring takes place in an old house with a dark past. The house includes a hidden cellar, a hiding place in a wall, a large creepy tree, and a scary dock. Paranormal Activity takes place in a new home in San Diego. The house includes modern features such as automatic lights, automatic doors, and an automatic television. But only a manual shower curtain. Loser, Paranormal Activity. Round 2, Outside Help. The Conjuring. The parents are helped by world-renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, their assistant Drew, and Officer Brad Hamilton. They set up cameras and microphones, stay with the family, work on their car, take their case to the Vatican, and risk their own safety to save the parents. Paranormal Activity. Mika and Katie are helped by this guy.
We need your help.
Well, I've got to tell you, I am not the person to help. Yes, I really have got to leave. I will help you, but I can't do this right now.
No. Serious?
Loser, Paranormal Activity. Round 3, Attempting to contact the spirit with a microphone. The Conjuring.
So then Doofy's recording as the Warrens go into the basement with a mic and ask the spirit if it wants to communicate. Ed walks around, deliberately putting the mic up to things that make noise. The subtitles even say, water running in pipes. The noise was loud enough that they thought they'd let deaf people know. He puts the mic up against the furnace.
That's pretty bad. I don't know how Paranormal Activity could possibly lose this one.
Then he starts to try to communicate with it with a mic. He's asking it questions and hoping that the mic picks up on it. He's also doing this during the day, not at night, when all this stuff's been happening.
What is your quest? What is your favorite color?
Loser, Paranormal Activity. Round 4, The Antagonist. The Conjuring. Bathsheba, a witch, curses the land by sacrificing her own child, proclaiming her love for Satan, and sacrificing herself. She kills their dog, terrorizes the family, attempts to kill 3 children, tries to kill Ed twice, and bites a cop's face. Paranormal Activity. An unknown demon is a bad roommate.
Look where I found my keys.
Evil forces came from beyond the grave to move your keys.
Loser, Paranormal Activity. Round 5, Impactful Deaths. Paranormal Activity. The only death that occurs is that of Mika, who is one of the 2 main characters that we spend the entire movie with. The Conjuring. The only death that occurs is that of the family dog, Sadie, who is on screen for about 5 minutes. Loser, Paranormal Activity. Round 6, Scariest Possession. The Conjuring.
And now you're all gonna die.
Paranormal Activity. Loser, Paranormal Activity. Round 7, Final Round. Sex Appeal, Paranormal Activity. Mika desires Katie. He calls her sexy, films her feet, and speaks enthusiastically of their sex life on camera.
I think that probably was illegal in Kentucky and other 12 states.
The Conjuring. Most of the women in The Conjuring are children, married, or dead. This looks like an easy win for Paranormal Activity. But Stop. Right. There.
All right, that's good, Drew. Drew, you can hit the lights.
Drew travels from college to college with the Warrens, presumably slaying impressionable sophomore Strange. He's stylish, he's charming, he's cool.
You're the lucky new cop, huh?
Guess so.
You know you can't shoot ghosts, right?
He isn't afraid to throw hands with the possessed. He saves kids and doesn't let anything get in his way. He recognizes those who have earned his respect and befriends them for life. Drew is the man. Loser, Paranormal Activity. With a final score of 7-0, Paranormal Activity is the worst movie.
Jen, I loved it. Please, make more segments in the future. The people love you. They really do. How about we get back to horror television and check in with our friend over at CrasHNburN.
Thanks a lot, Happy. So tonight, I am looking to discuss another episode of Tales from the Crypt, and this time it's Three's a Crowd. So basically the story is Richard and his wife are staying at their old friend, who also doubled as the best man at their wedding's house, who is like so rich, like he is excessively wealthy. And Richard, of course, he feels this. Like he feels like what's his name? Alan is the rich dude's name. He feels like Alan is trying to steal his wife away from him because he feels like Alan and his wife have a better connection than he has with his wife. And so they're up at Alan's rich estate compound place, and Richard is drinking a lot, and he's interpreting everything not wrongly. Like, for example, they're staying in this posh, kick-ass looking villa type place that Alan has set up for them on his property. And they start to make out, and it looks like they might have sex. But then the phone rings, and his wife's like, hang on. What the fuck was that? His wife's like, hang on, that might be Alan phoning. And then Richard's like, dude, you know, we're kind of in the middle of something. And she's like, yeah, but it might be Alan. And sure enough, she picks up the phone, and it is Alan. And she gets way more engaged in the phone conversation with Alan than she was making out and potentially going to have sex with her husband. So Richard starts to feel this, and then he catches his wife and Alan having like secret discussions, like, have you told Richard yet? No, I haven't told him yet. No, we better go. We don't want Richard to hear. No, we have to, don't talk about this now. I don't want Richard to know we're talking about this. So Richard's hearing all these things, and of course Richard's consuming a ridiculous amount of alcohol this whole time. And so he gets more and more jealous, and it gets to the point where Alan stops by after an outburst of Richard's earlier that causes Richard's wife, whose name I can't remember to save my life at this point. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor, don't get old. But yeah, his wife leaves with Alan after a big outburst Richard has, accusing them of this and that. And then Alan comes back to Richard's villa cabin. Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. They've got them staying at the cabin at this point. And the cabin that they're staying in, if I'm not mistaken, was Dan Aykroyd and John Candy's family's cabin from The Great Outdoors. I'm pretty sure that's where they filmed this. But anyway, so Alan comes over trying to smooth things out, and he finds Richard there drunk, and Richard's got like a crossbow that he found on the wall, because there's all this sort of like hunting and sort of type, it's got a very hunting type sort of decorative effect going on. It's got like, you know, stuffed animal heads and weapons and whatever else. So he's got the crossbow, and he annihilates Alan because he knows he's cheating on him with his wife. And then his wife shows up, and she finds Alan's body like mounted on the wall. So she panics and she tries to escape, which then prompts Richard to strangle her to death. And then he lets it be known that he's going to go have sex with her corpse, because this whole time they've been trying to have a baby and they haven't had much luck. So he's dragging her body, and he's like, all right, babe, you know, let's go try for that baby again. I'm feeling really lucky tonight. And he's dragging her lifeless body by like the what was it, lingerie or some shit, pantyhose or whatever that he choked her with. And he's dragging her into another cabin to have sex with her body, of course. That's nice. And he opens the door, and all of their friends and family are there saying, congratulations on your anniversary, but more importantly, congratulations on becoming a father, as he drags his dead wife's corpse, into the cabin with all his friends and family there. So the secretive discussion that Alan was having with Richard's wife was her not knowing how to break it to Richard that she was pregnant. So yeah, and that's how the episode ends. He drags the body of his dead wife, who he was about to have sex with again, into a room full of witnesses. And yeah, that's another thing that I absolutely love about Tales from the Crypt. You never saw the end coming. And my God, did these things make an impact. No way did I know that she was pregnant until she was choked out and being dragged into the cabin to have her body violated by her drunk and psychotic and homicidal husband, where he sees the sign that says congratulations on becoming a father. And it's like, and everybody's staring at him because he's dragging his wife's body behind him. And it's just, oh my God, Tales from the Crypt. On one hand, it is so completely horrifying, but then on the other hand, my God, that is so completely funny. And that's what I've always loved about Tales from the Crypt. Like, they had this perfect balance between horror and gore and humor, like a evil humor too, like a fucking, their wit was just so maniacal. But look, I am getting out of here, so that's it for me, guys. Back to you, Happy.
That's what I call dragging your wife to a party.
Alright, well, still no videos from the gamers, unfortunately. So,
Oh no.
what's up, gamers? Welcome to another episode of the Happy's Horror Gaming, I think I called it. Today we're going to be playing Alien. Your objective is to run through the hallways of your spaceship and crush all the alien eggs that have been placed there. You must also avoid or destroy the adult aliens and snatch up as many prizes as possible. Here we go. Let's go. Oh, God. It's even scarier than the movie. Oh no, they're teaming up! There wasn't two in the movie. Go Sigourney! Oh my God. Wait a minute. What's this? What the fuck? What's going on? There's too many aliens. It feels like maybe it's on hard. Is there a way to change it? I mean, I just watched the movie, so I should be a fucking ace at this game. But I don't know, maybe I'm not giving Sigourney Weaver enough credit, because everyone died but her. So maybe I'm just as good as any other space astronaut engineer person. You know, I can live with that. I'm not Sigourney Weaver. I just need to be chill. I just need to be chill. That's how they did it in the movie. Chill. I don't even care. Aliens. Normal. That's everyday stuff. Oh my God. I'm fine. People die. My whole crew died. I still survived. I'm Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm coming back for a sequel. People act like video games are hard. Yeah, see, I got you figured out now. Round 2. I don't think I've made it this far before. Oh my God, did you see my moves? Oh God. Here we go. Fuck! Unlike the Alien franchise, you gotta know when to call it quits. And I think I'm gonna go out on top with a high score of 45-82. That's a lot of dead aliens. I mean, these are the top predators. And I ran right through them. So, Ridley Scott, that's just... do better. First time playing and I'm in the thousands. I almost feel bad. So thanks for watching Happy's Horror Gaming. And I hope you never see me again. Back to the show. And now from Skeleton Crew Productions, Part 3, Thingamajig. can head over to Skeleton Crew Productions' YouTube page and watch Thingamajig in its entirety. You can also see their other short horror film, Straw Man. I just wanted to tell you about our friend Bankrupt Barry from the first episode of How Horrific. He's posted a video all about Helldünkel over at Bankrupt Barry on YouTube. So go check it out. Tell him Rance Hagmeyer sent you. Thank you to Reeltheseal, CrasHNburN, Jackknives Reviews, and thank you to Skeleton Crew Productions. Thank you Luxury Tears, Flytie, Jackson, and Yuno Shido. Remember to cast your vote for the horror cosplay contest for last week, this week, and next week. I'll add up the votes and that'll determine the places of the 4 contestants. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Say goodbye, Happy.